Was it worth it? That's the question people ask me when they find out that I retired at 51. And to be honest, I've started to ask myself that question too. Early retirement sounds good, but it's not all beach chairs and freedom. So today I want to tell you the truth. I want to tell you what I've gained. I want to tell you some of the things that I gave up and what nobody tells you about walking away from the grind, especially as a black professional. Hey, I'm Sabado. I'm not a financial guru or an influencer. I'm just a guy that worked in corporate America, that climbed the corporate ladder and then decided, you know what, this just ain't gonna work for me. This ain't it. And so I walked away. And if you're out there wondering if early retirement is even possible or if it's even worth it, this video's for you. First, let's talk about what I gained because, yeah, early retirement gave me a lot. Number one, it gave me my time. My time became mine again. I don't have any more useless meetings. I don't have any more deadlines. I don't have any more performance review. I wake up and I decide how I spend my day, who I spend it with. And I'm just going to tell you, you can't put a price on your peace. Number two, my health, my mental and physical well-being. The stress of corporate life was killing me slowly. What's that song? Killing me softly with her song. And I'll be short version. I'm just saying, keeping it a buck. After I retired, my sleep improved. My anxiety levels dropped. I even stopped grinding my teeth at night, believe it or not. You know, and early retirement didn't cure everything, but it gave me room to heal. As I like to say, it gave me the capacity to start to think about the things that I need to think about in order for me to be where it is that I need to be as I continue to evolve as a person, as a human being. And number three, I got the freedom to rebuild my identity. You know, for years, I was Sabado the HR executive, Sabado the HR guy. But now I'm rebuilding who I am. Without the title, without the suit, without the pressure to prove myself, I could just be myself. I don't have the need to necessarily be on in the way that I had to be in the past. And folks, I'm going to tell you, that's incredibly liberating because I can choose what I want to do, when I want to do it, or nothing at all. Now you probably ask, well, that's all good, Sabado, but what did you give up? Well, let's be real. Early retirement does come with some trade-offs. And here's a couple of things that I gave up, or a few things. Number one, I gave up status and recognition. I used to be a guy, I was a pretty important guy, I had a seat at the table, people returned my calls, and I had power, at least in title. And now I'm just me. I'm just Sabado. And so I caution you that if your identity is tied to your job, early retirement is going to shake you because it's going to force you to adapt to a reality that's different than whatever your reality was at work. Number two, I gave up the steady paycheck. I don't have direct deposits into my account every 2 weeks. I don't have the same type of financial rhythm. I found that, you really have to plan, save, and learn to trust yourself. I mean, we have a couple of streams that come in that help us financially based on some planning from our jobs and from our retirement savings. But it's a lot different than knowing that you're going to make X thousands of dollars a year and every 2 weeks you're going to get this coming in or that coming in. And yeah, sometimes that does mean, saying no to stuff that others would take for granted. I have to think about what I spend my money on. And I think we should all do that anyway, but I have to do that even more because I don't have the future opportunities to increase my income in the way that I did maybe when I was working. And then number three, I gave up being in the loop. When you leave the workforce, you lose the daily buzz, just those conversations that happen around you. As much as I hate gossip and as much as I hate bullshit, you get used to it. And so I don't have any more of that office gossip. I don't have any more updates from corporate. I don't understand what's going on. Now I do make it a point to get up every morning and watch the Midas Touch on YouTube because I do think that they're a good news, independent news station. And again, I'm not being, they're not giving me any money for this. I'm just saying because I like to be informed, but it's different because I don't have people coming in giving me briefs every day, so on and so forth. And I also, in full transparency, I watch The Price is Right, but I'm not caught up in the mix like I was before. I'm not in the loop. And the reality is that when you go down that path, you might feel a little bit out of place because you're watching the whole world hustle without you. So the ultimate question is, was it worth it? Hell yeah, it was worth it. 100%, 100, a buck, keeping it one thou wow. It was 100% worth it for me, but not because it's easy and not because it's perfect. Nothing in life is perfect, but it was worth it because I finally started living on my own terms. I live my own life. I do what I want to do when I want to do it, or I do nothing at all. And at the end of the day, isn't that the goal for all of us? Not perfection, not luxury, but freedom and peace. I am in such a peaceful place. I think there was a song once where a guy said, I'm so chill with myself that I can cool as a bum. And again, I know it's not politically correct, but that's how I feel. And it's just my wife and I, we just hang out and we kind of choose what we're going to do. I'm putting together content today, then I'm going to go run some errands. I could do that in the middle of the afternoon and not have to wait for a specific time frame. And, ultimately, if that's what you want, it is possible, but it starts with being honest about the trade-offs and really taking a look at yourself eyeball to eyeball and saying, am I willing to do what it takes to get what it is that I'm saying I want to get? And folks, if you're watching me, at least in your mind, you want that to happen, or there's something positive about that. So, go after it. Just be honest with yourself. I have friends of mine that make decisions and they don't necessarily think through the negative stuff or the difficult stuff in the same way. And it makes it easier, but then it becomes a hindrance when you have to deal with them when you get to the point of where you want to be. So I would just say, just be honest with yourself about the trade-offs, and don't let that hinder you. Don't let that stop you, but just understand that that's something that you have to contemplate as you continue to move forward. So now, I'd love to hear from you. What do you think you'd gain if you gave up and left the 9 to 5? If you were able to walk away from your job, or as I like to say, if you could do anything, if you could wake up and do anything in the world that you wanted to do, what is it that you would do? And I know people say, I'd want to wake up and be a millionaire and all. Let's stay away from that, because I think we're a little bit more serious about our lives than that. If you're watching me, I know you're a little bit more serious about your life than that. But what is it that you want to do? What's your purpose? What is it that when you're 90 years old looking back at your life that you want to say that you were able to accomplish? Drop it in the comments and let me know and let others know in the community. And, and if you're navigating burnout, toxic work, or just dreaming of something better, subscribe to the channel. Join the community. We're like one big family. I might even start calling us fam, because at the end of the day, we've got a few people that are subscribed to us and that are watching us. I'm on the cusp of 1,000 subscribers, but anybody that's been watching for a while knows that I'm gonna give it to you clear and direct, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. And so let's start having some of those conversations. Leave a comment in the comment section, just letting me know, what is it that you would do? Where is it that you'd want to go? What are the things that you would accomplish? What is it that that when you look back at your life that you want to say, you know what, I had a successful life because I did this? And it could be your kids, it could be your family, it could be an occupational thing. It doesn't matter, but just let me know in the comments, because this is the place that we talk about, real talk about money. We talk about mindset, because it's not all about money. We talk about freedom and what freedom actually looks like. Look, I was 51 when I retired. I was about 2 years ago, so I'm 53 now. And I just give it to you straight. And it may not be super polished like some of these other big YouTube channels, but the fact of the matter is, I give you the real dope, so that way, straight up, no chaser. And especially for women and people of color, because we've been carrying a lot for way too long, and there's just not enough places for us to talk about this stuff. And so I want this community to be that kind of community. So, but again, it's never my expectation that everybody retires early, but it is my expectation that you live your best life, and that's what this community is all about. So again, subscribe to the channel, and on that note, I'm Sabado. I'll catch you the next time. Have a good rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.